This is Sichi, a high school student who's constantly bullied by everyone, for everything from his belly to his foul smell. And whatever he's doing in the classroom, he hears a voice that changes his life 360 degrees. We learn from the voice that everyone in the class will be transferred to another world as heroes. And they're given powers as gifts, like knowing the situation, an evaluation skill, and a toolbox, and asking them to form groups. When he tries to join a group, they evaluate him and we find out that he's considered worse than trash. So you can imagine the bullying that happened afterward. Everyone is transferred to the other world, but when the voice sees our hero alone and completely isolated, it decides to give him an additional skill, which we don't know what it is. He's transferred to the new world, more precisely to a forest, and his situation seems to get even worse. Bad luck for Sichi. Trying to find food, Sichi finds a fruit and thinks, it's already spoiled, so why not eat it? While searching for food, he encounters monkeys with a level of 120 while he's at level 1. They have the same kind of fruit Sichi found, and luckily for him, they leave the place. He steals the fruits and finds an advanced healing potion, which he decides to take and keeps in his toolbox. Meanwhile, the rest of the students are in a city, and Sichi is the only one who was transferred to the forest. Tough luck for Sichi. We return to Sichi and learn that the fruit is called the fruit of evolution, and as its name suggests, it evolves your abilities, which is exactly what happens. Suddenly, he's attacked by a monkey. He uses the healing potion to treat himself, but the monkey is stronger than him. Just when the monkey is about to devour him, it can't stand Sichi's smell and die. Sichi gains items from the monkey that increase his skills and finds a book about the kind of monkey he killed. We learn that these monkeys are intelligent and knowledgeable in chemistry, which I myself don't know anything about, and they make tools. But how could our hero read the book when it's in the language of the new world? Right, remember the extra skill the voice gave our hero in the beginning? That skill allowed him to read the language of the new world he's been transported to. A few minutes after reading, we hear a voice saying that the evolution process has begun. Our hero transforms in a strange way, very strange, from a pot-bellied guy to a slim one, and his stats increase. Yet, the evolution level he reached is only 1 out of 10, which means he has to go through a lot more to complete the 10. But what's odd is his defeat of a level 120 monkey while he's at level 1. I'm sure with his smell, he could take down a monkey with a level of 1,000,000. Let's continue. And after 5 months, everything was perfect. The progress reached 9 out of 10, meaning it was almost complete. And then suddenly, a level 700 gorilla appeared, known to be the leader of the smart monkeys, challenging our hero, who couldn't refuse because, as you know, refusing would have consequences. The gorilla attacked, but our hero dodged the blow, to the gorilla's surprise since no one had ever dodged it before. They fought fiercely, and with each passing moment, the gorilla grew fonder of our hero, until the gorilla caught the scent of our hero and said, "That's it, you will come with me to my place so we can marry in peace." I am as shocked as you are now, and we come to know the gorilla's name is Saria, and that she is actually female, so we will refer to the gorilla as she, not he. She starts to treat Sichi as her husband, and while Sichi tries to clear up the misunderstanding, but gorilla is still a gorilla. He lives with her until he finds a chance to escape. Meanwhile, the other students are angry because they have to train with a wooden sword and learn the basics every single day, as the king has ordered them to defeat the demon king. Returning to Sichi as he tries to escape from Saria at his fastest, but Saria chases him. Yet, our hero is faster and reaches the Dimas, a place full of ancient ruins and rare treasures, but it's also protected by very strong monsters. When he enters, he meets a person claiming to be the Dark King Zianos, with a level of 1500. He draws his sword and attacks our hero, but Saria arrives and takes the stab for him. Saria is on the brink of death, and Sichi apologizes for his cruel treatment of her. Saria thanks Sichi for every second they spent together, and then she dies. Sichi loses his mind with rage and attacks Zianos. While recalling all his memories with Saria, Sichi attacks him with his strongest skill and defeats him. Suddenly, for some reason I can't disclose on the channel, Saria transforms from a gorilla into a human. After all the sorrow we've seen and Sichi losing his mind, we don't know what the outcome will be. Anyway, Sichi opens the chest that fell from the King of Darkness and gains new skills, the most important of which is that he can now use dark magic. he also reaches his final evolution and becomes the young man every girl dreams of. Just like that. Then a little lamb appears, saying it's the supervisor of the Demas, and gives them food that will last for 10 days as a reward for overcoming the Demas. It gives Seiichi a helmet with a special ability and clothes for Saria and transports them out of the forest. The lamb wonders when they will see each other again. We go to Seiichi and Saria outside the forest for the first time to start their new adventure. They decide to go to the Adventurers Guild. During their journey, the helmet transforms into a coat. We learn that the coat conceals Seiichi's great power. After a while, they reach the Guild of Adventurers and join the guild. They ask Seiichi and Saria to pass the entrance exam with a girl named Artoria as the observer. The exam begins and Seiichi and Saria manage to complete every task they face. They receive a prize from the guild master for their achievement in the tasks. The rest of the exam days pass smoothly until the final test begins, which was very normal until suddenly a magical circle appeared and transported them to Demas. During their conversation, Artoria accidentally presses a stone that separates them from each other. While searching for a way out, Artoria faces the strong monsters of the Demas and defeats them. At the same time, Seiichi finds things that raise his stats. We return to Artoria, who finds a gate, and when she opens it, she meets the Black Dragon, which is considered the strongest in the Demon King's army. Anyone who faces it is very unlucky. But Artoria does not surrender to her fate and attacks it with all her might. Nevertheless, the dragon is able to stab her with a powerful blow. Just as he is about to finish her, Satoshi appears and protects her. They attack each other, but the dragon is stronger than Seiichi. When he sees his level, he is shocked to find it's 5000. The dragon pins Seiichi down and is about to kill him, but Seiichi regains movement and attacks the dragon with the power of his mighty sword and defeats the dragon. Our hero's level rises significantly, and he acquires new and powerful skills. They leave Demas, and the first thing Seiichi asks Artoria about is her luck value, which turns out to be negative 2 million. I also ask why she went to the Black Dragon, which of course makes her feel like everyone hates her because she brings them bad luck. They return to the guild and she apologizes to them for bringing bad luck, but they tell her they love her regardless, and in the end, they are friends no matter what happens. Seiichi helps her and gives her the Ring of Happiness, which improves her luck, changing it from negative 2 million to positive 4 million. She's very happy that she will finally be free from her bad luck. Of course, this makes her blush a bit because she's starting to feel that she loves him. But we have nothing to do with these matters. Then Saria decides to go on a mission alone, and Seiichi will look for any information about his friends, the students who were transferred with him. Indeed, he manages to find some information that recently, some heroes from another world have been summoned as heroes to defeat the Demon King, who we know the City King, where Seiichi's friends are, wants to defeat the Demon King by any means necessary, even by using enslavement bracelets to control them and make them do as he wishes. We return to Seiichi, who doesn't find any information about his friends in the library, so he decides to read some books about magic because he doesn't know much about it, which enables him to gain many new and very powerful skills. After that, Seiichi goes to do a thorough messing around. And if you've reached this point, you surely liked the video. So don't forget to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe and write a nice comment just like you. The guild leader then suggests to Seiichi that he should look for a horse to help him with everything, and this is mandatory, not optional. After a while, Seiichi finds the poor donkey, which has hooves that could split rocks. Seiichi manages to talk to it because he has the skill to understand all languages. Indeed, Seiichi decides to take it, or rather her, as a horse, even though it's a donkey, but it's fine. He decides to enter her in the Royal Cup tournament. When the tournament begins, everyone is prepared. Seiichi's donkey was slow because they weren't feeding her much, so Seiichi gives her the evolution fruit. In a second, her stats all double, and she regains her energy, defeating the competitors and monsters on the way, and they win first place. As a reward, they get to spend a day with the Valkyrie, who are considered the strongest warriors in the kingdom, and by God's will, the donkey suddenly transforms into a girl named Luluni. Got her number? She also falls in love with the hero. And so, the hero scores a hat trick and has 3 who love him. Ah, you lucky son Fozzie. Then the Valkyrie come to take Seiichi because he won the tournament. we move to a meeting of the leaders of the Demon King's armies, and we learn that the Demon King's daughter wants to ally with the kingdom of Wimber, where Seiichi is. Another one says there's someone who killed the Black Dragon and learned his name is Seiichi, and he's in the kingdom of Wimber. After a little talk, all the leaders agree to ally with the humans, but the Demon King's assistant had another opinion. We return to Seiichi and see the power of the Valkyrie, the strongest of them being a girl named Lois, who managed to knock down 6 in the blink of an eye. Lois challenges Seiichi to a practice battle. Despite his fear, remember this is Seiichi we're talking about, despite her power, he manages to dodge all her attacks and even manages to disarm her sword and wins against her, and everyone is surprised that he could defeat her. Looks like Lois is going to be the 4th. We learn that the demons sent an assassin to kill the king. Seiichi and the Valkyrie find out about this, and by chance, Seiichi encounters the assassin and manages to stop them. However, the crime was committed and the king was left with serious wounds. It turns out that the assassin is a young girl, and we learn that the assassin stabbed the king with a cursed dagger of eternal sleep, for which there is no cure yet. But somehow, Seiichi manages to create new magic to heal the curse and manages to reverse the curse on the king. Now the king is fine and in good health. On the other hand, the other students are treated like slaves. We learn that the king of the city where Seiichi's friends are is the one who sent the girl assassin to kill the king of Wimp City. When we go to the young assassin, we find out that the former king had placed a bracelet of enslavement on her, which forced her to obey his orders. That's why, during her interrogation, she doesn't speak about anything because of the bracelet. But after a while, they learn about the bracelet, and Seiichi tries to remove the bracelet with his magic. Indeed, he manages to remove it by creating a new spell specifically to free her from the bracelet. What greatness! Oh Seiichi, it feels like you are fooling us. Anyway, she thanks him because she's finally going to be free. Yikes, looks like she's going to be the 5th. Afterward, Lois asks Seiichi to protect the king in her absence, because they've received reports that monster activity has increased on the borders lately. Therefore, she will go there with the Valkyrie. Without thinking, Seiichi agrees to protect the king in her absence. Lois and the Valkyrie leave the kingdom. After a week, life was sweet to the extent that Seiichi met the wizard Barna, who mastered all kinds of magic and is the greatest wizard there is. Barna speaks with the king about his school, Barbador, where Seiichi's friends are, and that there have been many problems there lately. Suddenly, a report reaches the king that a wave of monsters, each of boss level, is invading the forest and the kingdom. Yet, this does not make the Valkyrie flee. On the contrary, they were fully prepared to protect their homeland. Indeed, they managed to defeat all the monsters in the forest. We learn that the one behind the attacks is the assistant to the king of demons. We then move to the queen, and everyone participated in the battle, and they managed to finish them off. But then another report arrives about a new wave in the depths of the forest with a greater boss level. So Seiichi says, "Enough is enough for you guys," and he manages to cast a wide-scale spell that obliterates them all, including the assistant to the king of demons. He deserved it. Seiichi's level rises incredibly, and due to gaining many skills, different skills are merged into new ones. Everyone is astonished by Seiichi's power, especially the wizard Barna, who asks Seiichi to come to his school and become a professor, saying that the spell he cast earlier, despite being original and powerful, was so precise that even I, Barna, the greatest wizard existing, couldn't perform it. Seiichi agrees to become a professor at the wizard Barna's school, which is the very school where Seiichi's friends are. We move to the assistant of the king of demons, who apologizes to the king of demons for the failure of the plan. One of the commanders says she has a plan to bring back the king of demons. Seiichi bids farewell to the entire kingdom to start his new adventure at Barbador school where his friends are.